Question 23. Northern Bank has two types of account. Both accounts pay compound interest. Now, Ali invests in this one here, the cash savings, and Ben invests in the shares account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down the middle and work out what each of them get. So on the left hand side, Ali, he invests £2,000. Now this is at 2.5% per annum. So let's think of what the multiplier is going to be. If I've got 100% and I add 2.5%, then I end up with 102.5%. Now when we turn that to a multiplier, we divide the percentage by 100, so we get a multiplier of 1.025. So Ali is going to invest this for 3 years, so it's going to be times 1.025 to the power of 3. So if we get our calculator and do that, we get £2,153.78. So how much interest have we made there? Well, we started off with £2,000. If we take 2,000 away from that, the amount of interest we made was £153.78. Now let's look at the same thing for Ben. Now his is 3.5%, so I think you can possibly see that the multiplier for this one is going to be 1.035, in the same way that that one was 1.025. But he's got less money to invest. He's got £1,600, but we're going to times that by 1.035 to the power of 3. And when we do that in our calculator, we get £1,773.95. Now, how much interest have we made? Well, we have to take £1,600 away from that to get our interest. So if we take 1,600 away, the amount of interest is going to be £173. And if we round it to the nearest penny, it comes to 95 pence. So who will get the most interest by the end of 3 years? You must show your working, and the answer is Ben gets most interest. Now part B of this question says, in the 3rd year, the rate of interest for the shares account is changed to 4%. Now, the shares account is the one that Ben uses. So this one hasn't changed at all. So Ali's going to get the same amount of interest as before. So does it affect our answer? Well, it doesn't, because Ben, instead of getting 3.5% interest in the 3rd year, is going to get 4%. So he's just going to get even more than he had already. So basically, Ben already had more interest. He will just get even more. So no change. Ben already had more interest. And we'll just get even more. Question 24, we've got a diagram which shows a floor in a trapezium shape, and we've got a tin of paint. Now it says John's going to paint the floor. So the first thing I'm going to work out is what's the area of this trapezium. Now if you think the formula for the area of a trapezium is a half A plus B times H. A and B are the parallel sides, so that's going to be our A and B, and our H is going to be the side that's the perpendicular height between them. So we've got our area is going to be a half. A plus B is 10 plus 16 times our height, which is 7. So if we do that on our calculator, and we come up with 91 meters squared. Now, if we look at the details in the question, 1 litre of paint covers 2 meters squared. So I'm going to summarise this down here. 1 litre covers 2 meters squared. So in a tin, we've got 5 litres. So if I've got a 5 litre tin, can you see here the scale factor? We're timesing by 2. So we have to times this by 2. So 5 litres is going to cover 5 times 2. It's going to cover 10 meters squared. Now, how many tins of paint are we going to have to buy to cover 91 meters squared? Well, 10 nines are 90. That wouldn't be enough. We're going to have to get 10 tins because 10 times 10 will make 100 meters squared. So we're going to put, we need 10 tins. Now, how much is that going to cost? Well, each tin of paint from the question costs £16.99. So we need to spend 10 times £16.99, which is going to be, just move the decimal point across, £169.90. Now, John has got £160 to spend on paint. Has he got enough money? John does not have enough money. Money. He's short by £9.90. He is £9.90 short. Now, question 25 is about the gradient of a line on a graph. So we usually refer to our gradient as the letter M, and the gradient is the change in Y divided by the change in X. So our gradient, I'm going to put this on the left hand side, is 3. Now the change in Y, let's do the difference of the Y coordinates. So I'm going to do this one take away that one. So I'm going to write 15 take away 9. That's the change in the Y coordinates, and that's on the top. The change in the X coordinates is going to be D minus 5. Now, what have we got to do? At this point here, we're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to, because I want to get the D term on its own. So I'm going to bring the D up to the left-hand side here. So I've got 3 brackets, D minus 5 equals 15 minus 9. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply the brackets out on the left-hand side. So 3 times D is 3D, minus 3 times minus 5 is minus 15, equals 15 minus 9. So 3D minus 15 equals, now 15 minus 9 is 6. Let's get rid of the minus 15 on this side to leave the D on its own. So I'm going to add 15 to the left-hand side. So I add 15 to the right-hand side. So then I'm left with 3D The minus 15 and the plus 15 cancel each other out, equals, on the other side, we've got 6 plus 15, which is going to make 21. So 3D equals 21. So D is going to be 21 divided by 3. D is going to equal 7. So I'll just put this in here. Now, question 26 is a simplifying and expand brackets. So if we think FOIL, first, outer, inner, lasts. So first of all, we get 5x times 2x gives us 10x squared. Then we've got our outer, 5x times minus 3 gives minus 15x. Then we've got our inner, plus 2 times 2x gives plus 4x. And then finally, the last one's plus 2 times minus 3 gives us minus 6. Then we've got to collect up our two x terms in the middle. So our final answer is going to be 10x squared minus 15x plus 4x gives us minus 11x, and then we've got minus 6 at the end. The next question is the opposite of this. We're going to factorise. So we're going to have two sets of brackets to put this into. So to get the x squared term, we need an x at the start of both brackets. Now, the plus term here tells us that the signs in both brackets are going to be the same. So what we do is we go over to this first sign here to see what the signs are. They're both going to be pluses. To make factors of 3, we've only got 3 times 1. And if you just check when we multiply this out, we get x times x is x squared. We get x times 1 is plus x plus 3x plus 1, and that does in fact add to x squared plus 4x plus 3. So our answer is x plus 3 brackets x plus 1. Question 27 says, can you write this number in standard form? Well, to get the number in standard form, it's going to have to be 7.547 times 10 to some particular power. So where does that decimal point have to be? It would have to be there. So how many have we got to move to get it there? We need to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the left. So it's going to be 7.547 times 10 to the minus 5. So I'll write that here, 7.547 times 10 to the minus 5. Write 3.42 times 10 to the 4 as an ordinary number. Now, the easiest way to do something like this is to write 3.42 down. Now, 10 to the 4 means it's going to be a biggish number. So I'm going to write some numbers to the right, some zeros to the right of the 2 here. And I'm going to move the decimal point, 10 to the 4, 4 places to the right. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where my decimal point is going to do. So my answer is 342 followed by 2 zeros. The last one is one that you can do completely on your calculator. So I might as well show you it on my calculator screen as we're doing this here. So if we put fraction line, and I'm going to put 2.3 times 10 to the power of 4 times 6.7 times 10 to the power of 3, arrow down, 5 times 10 to the power of minus 8, and then press equals. And the answer that I get, 3.082 times 10 to the 15. So let's just write that in there. We've got 3.082 times 10 to the power of 15.